Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. We're in the dining room right now. We got the games going on over here, and we just kind of have a little bit of a break in the action to get our Sunday preview out as we kind of transition to that. We'll get the recaps and stuff obviously momentarily, but for right now, let's dive in to our lone Sunday game. All right, so we just have the one Sunday game here for week 15, and we're going to cap it off with a 5:05 p.m. Central Time kickoff, as always on the Indoor Football League Network. The 7-5 Vegas Nighthawks taking on the 5-6 Tucson Sugar Skulls, and Tucson needs this. Tucson absolutely needs this. Vegas absolutely needs this. This should be a very, very fun game. Taking a look at our season leaders, Jerome Johnson, your leading passer, 79 of 132, 955 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Jorge Reyna, 111 for 184, 1,202 yards passing, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Antonio Wimbush, 98 carries, 385 yards, 17 touchdowns. Reyna being your leading rusher as well, 71 carries, 273 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Leading receivers, Quentin Randolph, 46 catches, 660 yards, and 15 touchdowns. Larry Harrington, 42 catches, 429 yards, and 14 receiving touchdowns. Taking a look at our injury report, not really anything to report for Vegas. And for Tucson, nothing really to report either, at least in the last couple of weeks, but they have had some recent injuries when you look at both sides. For our game odds, we have an over-under of 86.5, and Vegas is favored by 5.5 on the road, so another home underdog. Tucson plus 5.5, and they are plus 170 if you want to take a home upset. It's weird to say that, but it's we've had plenty this season. Minus 205 if you want Vegas as the favorite on the road. We are at the Tucson Arena at the Tucson Convention Center in Tucson, Arizona, where the Tucson Sugar Skulls play. Just, again, trying to see how many times I can say Tucson in a couple sentences. And our series head-to-head actually favors the Sugar Skulls 4-2, but Vegas kind of being the better team as of late. Their last meeting, this is the first time they've actually played this season, but their last meeting, the final week of 2024, Vegas 49-25. Other than that, Tucson has kind of held the edge, but Vegas slowly creeping up there. So we'll see if Tucson can make it 5-2 or Vegas can make it 3-4 and try and even this series head to head up. But with that, let's go take a look at our 25-man rosters, bet and prediction. We get out of here. All right, let's take a look at our 25-man rosters as they pop up over my face. Starting with the away side first, for Vegas, Jerome Johnson and Jaden DeLora. I think DeLora has the starting spot, Jerome Johnson as the backup. We know Johnson got into the game against Iowa after it was a blowout. DeLora looked pretty good, so I think they're just going to kind of keep DeLora as the starter. Running back Antonio Wimbush, and your wide receivers for Vegas, Mike Kerrigan, Quentin Randolph, CJ Wyndham, Jonathan Johnson, CJ Jefferson, and Phoenix Sproles. Desmond Bland and Zach Fortier, Kevin Toot and Moses Mallory round out that offensive line. And moving over to the defensive side, Maurice Jackson, Claude Davis, Lorenzo Hernandez, and Adam Plant Jr. For the linebackers, and I copied this over from Northern Arizona, so forgive me, it should be linebacker, but Chizzy Umanakwe and Cameron Bright for the linebackers. And in the secondary, Bryce Hampton, Trevon Jones, James Caesar, Rome Weber, Darius Williams, and Elijah Blades, kicker being Ben Derby. Over to Tucson, Larry Harrington and Jorge Reyna being your quarterbacks. Reyna will be your starter. Harrington will drop into the wide receiving spot. If he needs to do any Wildcat stuff, then he picks up the quarterback mantle there. Wide receivers, running backs, Devontae Sapp Lynch, Jameis Williams, and your wide receivers, Brian Smith, Jerome Buckner, Drew Dixon, and Alfonso Taylor. A lot of offensive linemen, Krikor Kustanian, Cody Bolig, Isaiah Foote, Hugh Baker, Dallas Raines, Niamonta Decor, and Darius James. On the defensive side, not a lot of depth on the defensive side. John McMullen, Dan Totley, Deshaun Mallory, DeJamin Brooks, Trinilius Tatum, and he's your linebacker, and then in the secondary, Tariq Bracy, Brian Murray, Ahmad Lyons, and Kendricks Gladney Jr., with your kicker being Kevin Macias. And that is your 25-man roster for Vegas, your 25-man roster for Tucson. With that, let's go take a look at our bet and our prediction, and we'll get out of here after that. All right, bet and prediction time for this one. -5.5 for Vegas. Vegas absolutely needs this, and I know Tucson does too, but Vegas, they need it desperately. This is not a must-win game, but it might be for Tucson. So I'm taking -5.5. I think Vegas can win this, but if Tucson wins this, they go to 6-6. Vegas drops to 7-6, which means it's only half game out, kind of the same thing that Massachusetts and Tulsa had. It's just going to be one of those things where if this game goes Tucson's way, and yes, Tucson is at home, Vegas could be in for a little bit of a thriller in the final weeks of the season as Tucson tries to make their march for the playoffs. Every game matters for Tucson. There's an opportunity here for Tucson to not be able to make the 1 or 2 seed, but they have a chance at 3 or 4 if things can break their way. They do need a lot of help, and this game is one where they don't need any help because they can just take care of business against Vegas. I think Vegas wins this, though. I think Jaden DeLora has looked really good. Yes, they were playing Iowa last week, but at the same time, I do think that the offense is kind of coming into their own. The chemistry that DeLora has built with the wide receivers and the running back. Antonio Wimbush looks really good, not just rushing, but in the special teams category. And yes, both teams have kind of been up and down, but for Vegas, if they can take care of business in this one, there's an opportunity for pretty much Tucson and the other two, San Antonio and Northern Arizona. They're all pretty much out of the playoffs, but with Vegas winning this one, it moves them to 8-5. It drops Tucson to 5-7, and it's pretty much do or die for Vegas at that point. They need to win the rest of their games and hope other teams kind of slip up along the way, but for that, Tucson does look good as well. The running game with Devontae Samplage coming back, they have Jameis Williams, kind of a 1-2 punch in the running category, and if they can get Trip Harrington going, sorry, there's storms going on behind me, but if Trip Harrington can get going in the receiving game, have another 10 reception game for over 100 yards and a couple touchdowns, we could see a nice little back and forth affair. So I do think Vegas can win this one. My prediction, 49-40. It's just a 9-point victory. It could be back and forth, maybe just a deuce or a mental mistake or something kind of separates these two teams, and then Vegas is able to tack on another touchdown. I don't think it's a backdoor cover or anything like that, but I do think Vegas has just a little bit more firepower, especially with what I've seen when you compare what Wimbush has been able to do in the last couple of weeks to Saplinch or Williams. They are comparable, but I think Wimbush kind of takes it, especially in that special teams category. So -5.5, 49-40. I think Vegas takes this one. Am I shocked if Tucson wins? No, and this could be a very good spot if you are a Tucson fan, or if you are a bettor. If you want to take that +170, you can. I do think Tucson can pull an upset here. They are ripe for it, and they are at home. It's an opportunity for the Sugar Skulls. I just think this is a must-win kind of. I know I said it earlier, it might not be, but it could be a must-win for Vegas. If Vegas loses this, every game after this is probably a must-win in order to secure a playoff spot. But that's where we'll leave it. -5.5, 49-40. Vegas takes it. Let's wrap up and get out of here. And that is it for our only Week 15 Sunday game. Vegas and Tucson should be a good game. Both these teams have been kind of unpredictable at certain times, so maybe this is just an unpredictable game, as all of them are. You're more wrong than you are right. But yeah, Vegas just kind of going up and down this season. They've looked really good at times. Tucson has kind of looked good at times too, and that's just kind of where we have it. I hope this delivers some fireworks pre-4th of July. But with that, I'm going to take off here, guys. Love and appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't and you want to, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. If you don't, cool. But with that, I'm going to take off here. I'm going to finish watching these games, start getting the recaps kind of set up as we just stay on top of things. So with that, again, love and appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to take off here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So see you.